Hi everyone, my name is Trevor. I'm an engineer with Exyn Technologies. Today I'm going to be showing you our Nexys scanner and getting you started with your very first capture. Let's take a look at what's inside. First up, your Exyn Nexys as well as a handle, a Dell tablet, kickstand, charger. After this, you'll see two batteries and the chargers. You'll find a USB Wi-Fi adapter, a USB hub, 5 survey markers, the GPS receiver if you ordered one. Now that we've got everything out of the box, let's get started with taking our first capture. Before I power on the Nexys, I'm going to go ahead and attach the handle. Hold the tab upright. You can then slide the handle on the rail that's screwed down on the Nexys. The first step before we can power on the Nexys is to attach one of the batteries along the bottom. You're going to make sure the pins are aligned with the pins on the Nexys itself and then slide the battery into place until you hear a click. After this, we can lock the battery in place with the toggle switch on the bottom. And if you press the eject button, it should not depress far at all if the lock is fully engaged. Once you've checked that the LiDAR can freely spin, now we're ready to power on the Nexys. In order to do that, I'm going to hold down the center button for a few seconds until I hear the fan spin up and see the LCD screen turn on. Once this begins, you're going to see the LiDAR puck spin in one direction and then the other. This is its initial calibration step to make sure that everything's working properly before we can scan. Now let's run through the options menu on the LCD screen. Go ahead and press the left button to open up the options menu. We'll start from top down. First up, we have the option to power off the Nexys. Next up, we have the log management button. By selecting this menu, you'll see a list of every log that you've ever captured on your Nexys. In order to go back to the main menu from this screen, just go all the way up on the log list. Third, we have our USB info button. By selecting this, you'll be able to see information about the USB device that you've inserted. Next, we have a system info tab. By selecting this button, you'll see the software version of your Nexys device. Lastly, if you hit the down button one more time, you'll be brought to a second menu screen with our final option. Let's go ahead and click into Network Info. Here, you're able to understand information about your device's networking properties, or, if necessary, reset them. Now let's power on the tablet so we can connect it to the robot. In order to do that, I'm going to hit this button on the back right here. Just press for about a second, and you should see the tablet begin to turn on. Now that we've got both devices powered on, let's get them talking to each other. You should be able to see the name or number of your robot on the top right corner of the LCD screen, and you can additionally find it on the bottom of the Nexys. Your tablet and Nexys should already come paired so they can talk to each other automatically over Wi-Fi, but in the event that they're not, let's go ahead and show you how to get the Wi-Fi connected on the tablet. I'm going to come up here in the top right corner, select the Wi-Fi icon, select network, and find my device. Since the Nexys is close to the tablet, it's going to be right up here with a strong signal at the top of the list, and I'm going to go ahead and connect to Exyn Robot 4087. After a few seconds, you should see that the devices are now connected to each other. Ignore the question mark on the Wi-Fi, and we're ready to start capturing. We're now going to go ahead and open up Exyn View, our primary software for visualizing the Nexys scan. We will be covering all of Exyn's applications in another video, but today we're just going to be covering Exyn View. Once you've checked that the LiDAR can freely spin, and that you place the Nexys in a location where it's got great field of view, you can go ahead and press the green center start button to begin a capture. Once you press this button, you'll see the screen switch and say initializing. You should do your best to keep the Nexys still during this time. If you'd like to stop a capture, go ahead and press the center button again to abort the mission. Once you see the LiDAR begin to spin and the screen says Exyn AI is running, you'll know you're ready to start scanning. The other way you can start a capture with your Nexys is via the tablet. After you're connected and you have Exyn View opened up, you'll notice in the top left corner a red Exyn icon. This is the button that we're going to press once we're ready to start a scan. When you've made sure there's nothing in the way that would prevent the LiDAR from spinning, you can go ahead and press that button. You'll see it turn from red to green, as well as a box that pops up that indicates that we are now recording. Next to this recording icon, you'll see a number that indicates the name and timestamp of the log. Be sure to pay attention to the state as it boots up. You'll see it turn from initializing to running. Once the word running appears and capture in progress below it, you'll know that you're ready to pick up the Nexys and begin scanning. Once the Nexys has begun scanning, you should be able to see a lot of data streaming in onto the tablet to visualize. What you're seeing streaming to the tablet is raw, real-time point cloud data that's streaming directly from the Nexys. If you can't see it, go over to the eyeball icon and make sure that visualization is turned on for the point cloud. We'll be getting into all these options in a later video. One more thing you can monitor while the Nexys is scanning is any information, warnings, or errors that are streaming from the device to the tablet. Go ahead and open up this dialog looking box on the top of the screen, and you should be seeing any messages streaming in from the Nexys. In order to stop a capture from the tablet, just go ahead and press that X and icon again. You'll see it go from green to yellow and finally to red when the capture is stopped. After the capture is finished, a box should open up automatically that gives you space to write a little note to remind yourself of what this scan was about. Go ahead and open up the keyboard by pressing inside of that box, and I'll leave a little note that says xlog test. Once you're satisfied with the note, you can go ahead and save it by pressing the OK button. In order to view the log we've just captured and saved, I'm going to go ahead and open up the X logs. You'll notice it's not there at the beginning. Go ahead and press refresh logs, and a new list should appear with our log right at the top. And there you can see the note xlog test. From this menu, you'll see 4 buttons for each xlog that exists. An info icon, an orange notebook button that allows you to change whatever note you might have left or add a new one, a green download button, and a red delete button if you are sure you don't want this log anymore. For now, I'm just going to go ahead and press the green download button. You'll see a window pop up where you can save the log. We highly recommend saving every log in X files in order to keep the storage balanced in the tablet. You should see a window pop up that shows you how far along the download is from the Nexys to the tablet. Now that we've finished our capture, we're going to get into the power down procedure, and from there, show you how to post-process. That'll be covered in another video. In order to power down the Nexys from the tablet, you're going to go into this 3-bar menu in the top left corner, and a little bit from the top you should see a button that says shut down with the number of your robot. Go ahead and press that and hit confirm if you're ready to power down the Nexys. Once you've safely powered down your Nexys and confirmed this by seeing that this green light on the side has gone black and that the LCD screen is off, you can go ahead and remove the battery. I'm going to do this by switching this toggle on the bottom to the unlock position and then holding down the eject button. Once that goes all the way down, you're able to slide out the battery. From here, I'm going to plug the battery into its charger so we can be ready to go after we're done post-processing. All right, now let's talk about the best practices so you can achieve the highest map quality with the Exyn Nexys. A hugely helpful tip is to perform something we at Exyn call loop closure. Loop closure is the idea of bringing the scanner back to an area that you've already seen. It helps our SLAM algorithm to better localize and determine where everything is in 3D space. Try to keep your walking speed to a bit of a slower pace. The slower you go, the more detailed the map quality can be. If you find a feature you're especially interested in mapping, make sure to hold the LiDAR puck near that feature for a few seconds to maximize the detail. Another tip we recommend here at Exyn when bringing your Nexys from one room to another is to turn the Nexys somewhat sideways as you transition to help it get a better view of what it's seen before and what it's going to see next. This smooth transition again helps with the map quality. Thanks for joining me in this Nexys Quick Start video. We'll see you in the next one.